If you have more than one credit card in your wallet, it may be time for an annual card checkup. Just like a regular health check, it's a good idea to ensure your plastic pals are aligned with your financial goals. Schools First Federal Credit Union is here to help us understand how to give our credit cards the care they deserve and keep your financial pulse strong. Today we have Jonathan Weston, who is the Madison branch manager for Schools First Federal Credit Union. Hello, Jonathan.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, so I don't know if doing an annual credit card checkup is on people's to-do list.
It's probably not.
Yeah.
It's not a common thing we talk about, but it's so important. When we open a credit card, oftentimes we open it with certain terms and conditions that can change. So, for example, it would be like a promotional rate. Hey, I got these balances, or I need to make this purchase, and I don't want to pay interest on it, so I get a 0% interest, which is great. But then when does that interest, that promotion end? Do you know, right? So by doing an annual credit checkup, you can kind of keep on top of that so you don't get caught paying for more money than you need to. The promotional rate is probably the most common thing, but there's so many areas where that if you're not on top of it, it can really have an impact on your financial future down the road for your other goals you may have.
That's so true. That 0% interest is nice when you have it, but once it runs out, that's when you need to do that checkup like you're mentioning. So one thing that many people pay with their credit card is an annual fee. What can they do about that?
So the annual fees are very common in the credit card world, and they vary between cards, right? So if you don't need the benefits that are coming from that annual fee, then it might be advantageous to find a card that doesn't have a fee. So you do have those options that are out there. It really comes down to each consumer to really know what you're getting for that annual fee. If it's advantageous for you, then pay it and reap those benefits.
Yeah.
But if it's not, if you're not utilizing it, or maybe you got it when you needed it and you don't need it now, it may be time to switch that up. So again, a credit card checkup can keep you on top of that.
There we go, and checking all your options that are available to you. Now let's talk about increased credit limits. They can feel like an offer for dessert when you barely finish your meal, and then there's also the option of decreasing it. So how can viewers manage credit card limits effectively?
It's important to understand that when you get a credit card, that is not set in stone as far as the limit. Each card issuer is going to have their own risk analysis that they're performing probably annually or biannually. They're looking at your credit score. Is that going up or down? Are they looking, they're going to be looking at your income. Has that increased or decreased? And they can adjust that credit limit on you. And if you're not checking your statements, you're not going to know. This can have it can really impact you. Earlier we had a segment in the year about the importance of maintaining your credit score, and you want to keep a threshold of 30% or less on your credit card. If your balance is at 30%, but then they decrease your limit, all of a sudden you can have a negative effect. So you got to stay on top of those credit card statements to know where you're at so you can really plan out your financial goals.
Yes, and definitely making sure you understand when the credit limit has increased, because that can also be a slippery slope as well.
It can.
Are there any other fees we might not automatically think about that should be reviewed?
I would say the most common ones that I've come encounter with in my experience is the cash advance fee. A lot of times people don't realize that cash advance fee may come with an additional increased interest rate when you cash advance, or it might be a fee up front that you're paying. And they're like, oh, I just need the cash. They don't really understand there's a financial impact. The other one would be a balance transfer fee. You see this promotional rate for 0%, and you're like, oh, I'm going to save money if I move it over there. But is there a fee? You could be charging more on that fee than you're saving on the interest if you kept the card. So knowing and understand those differences, again, is going to help you with your goals in the future.
Yeah, especially making sure that you're not getting any of those surprises, and making sure you're reading all those details like you mentioned, that balance transfer fee. So checking everything. Are there any other fees that should be included in this review?
Well, hopefully nobody's faced with late payments or missed payments, but there are substantial fees that are attached when those things happen. And it's a kind of a ripple effect, because you're getting charged upfront those fees when you're already short on cash.
Yeah.
But then that's going to have a negative effect on your credit score. So later in life, you might need to get a car loan or an auto loan, and you may not get the terms that you really wanted to get because of those late payments or missed payments. So you want to stay on top of that and know where you're at in that credit card payment history. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it's just so important to stay on top of your credit cards, especially when you have multiple out there. Know what those terms are so that you can really plan for your future.
All right.
We got more tips on our website at schoolsfirstfcu.org, so go check it out.
There we go. Jonathan, thanks so much.
My pleasure.
Alrighty, so like you mentioned, you can visit one of the many Schools First Federal Credit Union branch locations as seen on the screen, and you can find out more online by going to schoolsfirstfcu.org.